Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Nicholas Kim Coppola. Coppola. Happy birthday to you. Alright, fucking yeah!
Guys, we recorded this podcast on Nicolas Cage's birthday. I even make a reference to how old he is by looking it up on YouTube, and I didn't even catch that it was his birthday. It is now January 8th, and we just wanted to give a shout out to our favorite over-actor.
Yes. So we oversang your happy birthday. Happy birthday, Nicolas Cage. We'll catch you next year.
Enjoy this app. Bye.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire!
Put the bunny back in the box.
Hey now, you're Nic Cage. Get your acting on. Get paid. Hey now, you're Nic Cage. Start overacting and yell.
And
all that glitters is gold. Welcome to We Gauge Cage.
welcome to We Gauge Cage.
This is the podcast where we watch every Nicolas Cage movie ever made in an effort to determine whether or not he is a good actor, because neither of us are familiar with his work. I'm your host.
Not familiar enough.
Right.
Not familiar enough.
I'm your host, Brian Ambrosius, and with me as always, the peanut butter to my jelly, Brock Kircher.
Brock
How are you
Kircher.
doing, Mr. Kircher?
I am doing fantastic on this wonderful Sunday evening.
I bet you are.
I am.
Any particular reason?
So I am a fan of the football team, the New Orleans Saints. And the New Orleans Saints have just pulled off a surprising victory over the Carolina Panthers.
It wasn't surprising. I mean, they did a good job holding off the comeback, but the Saints were favored.
The Saints were favored, and they now travel to Minnesota next week.
The chili.
Your hometown, or your
chili.
town of residence.
But it's not chili. They play in a dome.
Yeah, in order to play the Vikings, so it should be good. But no, as a football fan, I am very excited and just riding high off the emotions. And if my voice is a little in a deeper octave, A, it's because I've been listening to the past episodes, and I feel like I'm a little dorky. And B, I've been cheering all day for my football Saints.
That's why the 20 people that download our apps love us, though, because we're dorky.
Oh, man. Is it our moms?
Dude,
our
my
mom
loves our
energy.
podcast.
Your mom is our biggest fan.
She is, and her favorite one is Deadfall. And I was worried because after the F-bombs, she did not like the F-bombs in Left Behind. But then you had to say them in Deadfall.
Well, yeah, everybody's so... both of our moms and other parents and anybody else out there is so like surprised that you swear and curse more than I do. Like, I'm supposed to be the bad influence on you, and now they're just realizing that you have been the bad influence on me this whole time, our whole childhood. You've always been the bad one. You've always been the naughty boy.
I never even drank a beer until I was 17. Or was I
true.
18?
It
It was prom, so 17.
It was. I think it was pre-prom though. You
And
drink
who
it.
made me the drink? It wasn't actually a beer, by the way. I was drinking UV.
No.
lemonade.
Well, you went out to a. Okay, you went out to. I brought you to a party. I did. I'm the bad influence. I brought you to.
Yeah.
We probably shouldn't incriminate ourselves like this. This is on the record. It's okay. Statute of limitations.
Brock, this whole episode is incriminating.
Yeah, a little bit. I brought you to a party, and Jonathan Farr put a beer into your hands and said, drink it, but you don't have to if you don't want to. And it was a Coors Banquet, or a Coors Original.
Right. We were at a fire pit, because that's how you do it in Crandon. You go to the pits.
You go out to the gravel pits and you build a bonfire and you circle your trucks up to the bonfire and you drink beer from a cooler. And,
It's nice. Yeah.
And you drink a Coors Original.
It's nice that... Oh, sorry. I was just going to say it's nice that my mom is going to know this. That now every time I hung out with you, we were going to fire pits and drinking beers.
It wasn't every time. Because there's a whole other story with that. But then, yes, at prom, I did mix you a Mountain Dew and green apple pucker vodka. And that was your drink of choice. And you were stumbling around telling everybody that you loved them. And maybe people were not loving you back.
Yeah, maybe that's why I still love the girly drinks. Like, hey, man, we went to T Roadhouse all the time when we lived together. We would get the margs, you know? We don't get the beers, we got the margs. And
I do love
at your bachelor party,
I still love a good margarita.
Yeah, we got good margs. By the way, how was my censor job last ep? You know, trying to get that clean ep.
Oh, fantastic.
You like it?
You are a prickly pear.
Dude, the more that I try to find Nic Cage lines for this podcast, the more excited I am that you chose him, because what is that prickly pear? What is he doing?
I don't know.
I have no idea what movie that's from.
Hopefully we find out.
He's in... Oh, my God. I said insane so much in Deadfall, but I'm excited because he has a lot of great roles. And another buddy asked about A Vampire's Kiss, because that's the one where he's yelling, I'm a vampire.
Oh, yeah.
That's his 37th worst movie.
37th worst. Which means that it's like his 48th best.
And it's a movie about him thinking he's a vampire wearing fake vampire teeth. I am so excited, man.
Yeah, I watched the trailer to that just to get hyped on it, and it looks like such a treat.
And it's so far down our list. I would expect that to be coming up, but it's not.
Such a cult hit. But the thing is, okay, so right now, folks, for everybody listening, we are currently like wading our way through the threes. So I think this movie is a 3.7.
Yes, this is the last 3.7.
Ooh, baby. But we're about to jump into those fours. We're about to slide right into those fours, baby.
And has this movie been released? I don't know. It's on YouTube, so it's not like we did anything illegal.
This movie has been... Okay, so the movie that we're about to review tonight is Humanity Bureau. The Humanity Bureau, in fact. It is our last movie of the threes. It is a 3.7, and it technically had a release date, according to our metrics, of 2017.
Yeah.
Because it was released in Sweden in 2017.
Oops.
Now, it was released on December 1st, 2017 in Sweden. And it was released on January 4th in Kuwait. And so we thought maybe we would have a little trouble finding this movie. But we didn't.
It's on YouTube. It's got... You said Russian subtitles.
It's on YouTube. No, as I found out, those were actually Romanian subtitles.
I was going to say it did not feel Russian to me because like some of it looked kind of Spanish-y, some of the language, so...
Well, now you know. So, chalk that up. I learned Romanian while watching this movie.
The freaking dog that I'm watching is like chewing very loudly right behind the mic.
Hey,
so
we are dog friendly.
Like I said last ep, not this dog, dude.
Puppies
this dog,
make me happy.
All right, I know you want this to be a shorter ep, but I got to tell you something about this damn dog. This isn't even his fault, but earlier today, I'm sitting downstairs. I was watching the movie. We have a kennel down here because he's not, potty trained or whatever. We don't want him out. Somehow, this dumbass, I'm watching the movie, and behind me, just all this racket going on. I turn around, he's dragging the whole kennel, and this is a huge kennel, probably 6 feet by 3 feet, because it got caught on his collar. Somehow, like, the hook of the door got caught on his collar. He's just running around with the damn cage. It's just like, that's the type of dog that I'm dealing with right now, man.
Am I on mute? I'm not on mute.
Well, not anymore.
You can't cage the beast, man. Just like you can't cage our beast, you can't cage that beast.
Yeah.
I think he is the dog epitome, the dog equivalent of Nicolas Cage.
Now he's looking at me like he knows I'm talking about him.
Well, you talking shit?
Yeah.
By the way, now that we got that clean podcast out of our system, folks, we're going to tone it down. We're going to take it a step back. But Cursing back on the table.
Yeah, there's going to be some F-bombs in this movie because it is terrible.
Yeah, because right at the top, what the fruit?
What the fudge, man?
What the front door was happening in this entire movie?
Well, should we get into it? Was there anything else you wanted to talk about?
I did actually just want to like kind of continue that story when I said like there's a whole nother story with you and your drinking and how like you said every time we hung out we were drinking. No, because one time there were some girls that were staying like up north or whatever from the city, I remember, and they came to our hometown and they asked you specifically while we were together. They asked us, like, hey, what do you guys do around here for fun? And we were maybe, like, 18. So this was the perfect opportunity for us to say, like, oh, you know, like, we go out to gravel pits, we drink, we party, we have fun. And before I could open my mouth to say something cool, you jumped right in with, we play video games!
Yes!
And those girls, immediately, their faces dropped, the record scratched, and they walked, they turned and walked away.
Hey, man.
So...
guess what I've been doing now that I'm 30? I got a Nintendo Switch for my birthday. I've been playing a ton of Mario Odyssey, so there you go.
So we play video games.
I don't care. I love video games. Our first ep, I think we talked about how we were playing Madden before this.
Exactly.
You bought me one quick side note.
So despite that Coors that Coors original that you had when you were 17 years old, you turned out just fine.
I did.
Normal,
also,
well-adjusted adult.
You bought me a PlayStation 4 because you wanted to play Madden with me when you moved to Arizona. I realized today I have, I think, 5 video games for the PlayStation 4, and I think 4 of them are Madden.
Yeah.
It's like all Madden and Mario. That's all I really care about.
Yeah. I'm telling you should get Zelda, but...
it's too much. That's too much work.
It's not.
I got a podcast to worry about, man. I got a podcast.
We're podcasters now. I got a podcast, I got a dog, I got another dog that's not mine.
I'm 30. I hurt. You know, I can't commit to that much video games.
Yeah, well, you got to worry about the world falling apart, people drinking their own piss.
Walls being built.
Okay,
let's get into it.
Let's jump.
Out.
Oh, so you mean my segue wasn't clean? Clean enough for you? All right.
It was fine.
Let's start.
We talked about it having subtitles that we couldn't turn off. It was just on there. But it actually starts out with English subtitles.
Exposition. It's exposition. They're like title cards, basically.
Yeah.
So it's the year 2030.
Yeah.
In the world of the Humanity Bureau, it is the year 2030. Do you really want to read them all? Did you write them all down? I didn't.
All they said was that walls have been built around the cities.
Basically, there's been like a war. Yeah, there's been a war. Like all the fish are dead in the ocean. Caught that part.
Water bad.
Has dried up or is poisoned, and no crops can grow because all the soil is irradiated. Essentially, there you get the gist. All right. So apparently a bunch of people live in the cities, and all these walls are built up around the cities, and anybody who lives outside of the cities, like in the country, are like hillbilly cannibal rednecks-ish. Mm-hmm. Like, and so there's been a new bureau, like the FBI or the CIA, that's been established called the Humanity Bureau.
As Peter Griffin would say, ha!
Ha! It is responsible for making sure that people are productive members of society.
Because if they're not, they get shipped away to New Eden, which is apparently like a retirement home for all ages, just for people who, Like they make it look real nice. Oh, the freaking dog has hit my table. Oh, this audio is going to sound terrible. I am sorry, people. Anyway.
Cut point.
Nic Cage ends up having to go to this hotel where a guy is. By the way, one thing I'm noticing about Nic Cage is that I cannot understand. Like you said it in one movie, in Deadfall, I can't understand what he says half the time.
No, he is Mumbles McGee throughout his roles.
Because he like runs into the receptionist guy or whatever, is like asking where the guy he's looking for, what room he's in. He says something like, "You don't have a license to sell water. It's a felony," or something. Like, I couldn't understand. I rewound it like 8 times trying to figure out exactly what he was saying, but basically the guy was offering clean water. I don't know.
Why didn't you know how to speak Romanian And
then I would have
known exactly what he was trying to say.
Basically, he finds the guy. The guy says he knows the truth about New Eden, which I've already figured it out. Did you figure it out?
I had a really good guess.
They killed people at New Eden.
Yeah, New Eden's not... New Eden is like basically saying that like your dog goes to like the farm. Like New Eden is the farm. Like yeah, you went to the farm upstate. Like that's New Eden. It's a crematorium. So it's essentially a gas chamber crematorium. And they burn people alive, I guess. Or no, they technically gas them and then they burn them. And that's it. So that's this movie. Are you on mute?
I was asking if you could hear me. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Why?
I had to yell at the dog because he's going over by my cords and stuff.
Don't, like leave me hanging like a weirdo. Okay,
this is gonna be.
So,
we were on such a roll here. Like our first ep was and then we did so good on Deadfall and Wicker Man. And now I'm ruining. No, this dog is ruining this
you're
podcast.
Not ruining anything. This dog is great. I love you, dog.
we might have to take back our slogan of being dog friendly.
Puppies make me frustrated.
I didn't timestamp any of this, but it's like 5 minutes in. I have way more questions than timestamps on this one.
Okay, so our intro to Nic Cage is right away, and he is Noah Cross. He is a full frontal, like, headshot. I don't believe he's wearing aviators, but my God, why does he look so weird? Like, can you just, like, did he look weird to you? Because he looks so weird to me.
I read some IMDb reviews about this movie, and the one guy said that Nic Cage is dyeing his hair with shoe polish, and I was like, you know what? That's a really good descriptor for what he looks like.
Pretty much, dyeing hair with shoe polish has like, I mean, his hair is a problem. Like, I just watched Left Behind, and his hair, I said it was on fleek because it looked fine, but this, like, the widow's peak is peeking. Like, it's playing peekaboo, and he has guy liner on. That's what I like. He has full on guy liner. Just with nothing wrong with that. Everybody likes to, make themselves look pretty, but my good God, in the future, apparently, that's his thing.
We're gonna get to this other girl who's in this movie, who's kind of like his love interest, not really, but because I knew Nic Cage was old, and like this girl looked young. I looked how old he is. He's 54 now, man.
Nicolas Cage is 54. Do you know who else is 54? What other like beloved actor is 54 years old, the exact same age as Nicolas Cage, but is like, you would never guess it? Keanu Reeves.
Really?
Is like a couple months, I think, older than Nicolas Cage.
I would have never guessed.
Yes, Keanu Reeves, who looks like he's still like 26. I mean, you watch John Wick, and then just watch John Wick 2, because that's more recent, and then watch this movie, and try to tell me that those two characters are the same age.
Now I feel bad because
insane.
We talked about our moms watching, and my mom is close to 54, but hey, I'm just saying, Nic Cage
looks
the reason
a lot better than Nicolas Cage.
Yes. The reason I bring it up is because the love interest is only 35, and it's kind of like... okay.
Yeah.
But anyway,
shouts to your mom.
There's like guns blazing, and by the way,
when he shoots,
yeah, exactly. When he shoots this guy who says he knows the truth about New Eden, he like shot 3 times, but it was like he shot above his head. Like it was, I don't know, it was really bad. By the way, we start out with really bad CGI too, so you really get a good.
The green screen. The green screen whenever they're driving a car is So I did watch a trailer. I did watch a trailer for this movie, and you can watch the trailer for this movie, along with the full movie, on YouTube. And my wife, which I know I talk about a lot, whom I talk about a lot, was watching, and when she was watching and she saw the part where they were driving the car, she busted out laughing out loud because like the green screen is that obvious. Whenever they're driving a car, it looks like an SNL sketch where like anytime they're driving a car and they're literally just like moving their hands with the steering wheel like back and forth, and like they have a green screen behind it. It looks like that. It looks just like that.
It's like Toonces the driving cat.
Yes. Yeah,
But then there's also that really bad drone, and this time I do mean a drone, not a bee. There's that really bad drone at the start. Okay, so then he meets up with a guy named Adam, who's like his co-worker, his friend, and Nic Cage is fishing indoors for some reason, because I guess they don't have lakes, so why is he fishing? I don't know.
It's a super important plot point, you guys.
It is.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, because we have these. That's how the movie ends, is with a line about fishing, so...
Yep.
So anyway, he's basically told he's going to get a promotion, and now there's another girl that he has to go talk to and send a new Eden.
Yes. So okay. Yeah, so Adam also works for the Humanity Bureau. I don't know if like he's his boss, but I know that he's his
I don't
friend.
feel like it.
Or if he's like just another agent. But like if he is another agent, he never does his damn job. Like he never does his job. All he does is watch Noah.
All he does is make fun of Porter.
And okay, so first thing I want to just say is that Nicolas Cage like wears an outfit that has like his chest hair hanging out the entire time. Like he's got his taco meat just out on display, full display.
His taco meat? Is that a phrase?
That's what you call it. It's what you call it. You call it the taco meat, yeah, or like the hamburger meat. Like I
wouldn't know that because I have like 6 hairs on my chest that like just stick out there.
Yeah, I mean I got like a good dozen, but he just this is not the look of an agent. Plus he drives. His car for the Humanity Bureau is an El Camino car that has like this like heavy metal album cover writing on the side of it that says Humanity Bureau, and I'm just like, what is this world that we're living in? These are not like fully sanctioned vehicles. The one thing that he says to the guy before he shoots him though is, you must be a productive citizen. It is the law. It is a crime to do otherwise.
That's the plot. There it is.
Yep.
So he has another case that he has to go see if she's being productive enough, and she has a kid. Her name is Rachel. The kid's name is Lucas. Basically, it's kind of shady. Like Lucas doesn't have shoes that fit him. Rachel can't really provide enough food for lunch. So Nick should be writing her up and sending her to New Eden, but he sends out a note saying like, give him time or whatever. And so then Adam calls him out on it. He's like, why are you not sending them there? And Nic Cage says, well, because Lucas has a recital tomorrow. And that's a great memory for the kid.
Mm-hmm. And well, he says, well, did he say, oh, is that what it was? He said it's a great memory for the kid? I thought he says the kid has a great memory on him. Like, he has, like, a great memory. So, like, I want him to, like, hone his skills for, like, being able to, like, memorize things.
No, it's just he wants him to, like, have his recital. So then, how does this happen? Nic Cage is just sitting on a bench and a matchbook is thrown at him. What? With the matchbook that says, like, Green Hoy in it?
What?
Did you watch this movie?
Dude, I watched this movie. I did not catch that whatsoever. I had no idea, really,
because
what that was all about.
He gets the matchbook, he pulls it open, and it says, like, Green Hoy. I was hoping you could help me what it actually says. But either way,
oops,
he knows to go to this elevator where this weird guy...
Yeah,
like, what is this
elevator? Where a ponytail guy, like... Okay, first of all, the guy says, like, oh, coming in, like, you going up? But there's only 3 floors on this elevator. So, yes, he's going up. But when he's going in this elevator, like, the guy gives him a, like, jump drive, basically, that, I'm gonna cough. Oh, did I even hit the mute? Probably not.
No, I can hear you.
Whoops.
If I can hear you, they can hear you. We're getting good. Hey, we're good at this.
We're zoning in.
The mute button is new.
Baby. So this guy gives him a jump drive that has, like, here's what New Eden's all about on it. Like, it shows him the plans for the crematorium. So now Noah Cross, what have we done? And figures out first of all, he says, I want to know the truth. Not, I want to know the truth. I want to know the truth. So he gives him the jump drive that tells him the truth.
But they, as the audience, we're not supposed to know yet because they just shoot Nic Cage's bald head. And
all Nic Cage says is, like, tell me what New Eden, like, what am I looking at? And then this, like, robot Siri voice says, New Eden. And then he says, what have we done? And then, like, you see later that it's, like, it shows, like, the 4 seconds that happened in between those two lines where it showed him that it was a crematorium.
After that is the weirdest recital I've ever seen in my life.
Well, before that, I do want to linger on the part where, so the little kid is like 11 years old. Lucas is 11 years old. He's a little ginger kid.
He's a freaking monkey, dude.
Super precocious because, like, that's just how every little 11-year-old kid has to be in movies nowadays. It's a really overplayed thing. But he's climbing up a roof for no reason, and his foot slips because, of course, it does. And he falls. Now, he falls... Okay, I don't know. He
fell
falls through,
hard.
like, an awning, and he falls, like, 10 feet. I'll give him 10, maybe 12. I'll give him 12 feet. But then he dies. Like, legitimately dies. And Nicolas Cage gives him CPR, which doesn't work, and then brings him back to life by whacking him on the back a little bit.
He, like, sits him up and, like, slaps his back real hard, and all of a sudden
he gives him a little pat on the back, and then he wakes up. And then, immediately after that, his mom is giving him a bath. Who the hell gets a bath from their mom at 11 years old with a stranger in the next room?
Brock,
where there aren't doors between the rooms.
It is a different time.
What
I mean,
is
they don't have enough water. So
that
I
is
think
my
she has to
first,
ration the water. Hey, I'm going to stick up for the film here. But actually, 11 is kind of old. He could probably do him. I bet he was clothed. She was probably just caring for him, making sure he didn't have any wounds or anything. You know, getting the dirt off.
No.
He just fell through a roof, man.
Okay, so if I want to get a bath from somebody, oh my gosh.
I bet if you fell off a roof and you want to make sure there wasn't any dirt in your wounds, Emily would pour you a nice hot bath and, like, rub you down, baby.
Well,
rub you down with some soap and water.
I just found a loophole.
Hey, how did your coworkers like that tie I got you?
Oh, I got the shiftiest looks, and then I had to go to, like, a real, actual, legit meeting on Friday, and I took it off. I couldn't.
That makes sense.
I couldn't wear it to a meeting with, like, my actual superiors. Around,
That
like,
makes
my equals, I loaded it over there, and and walked around with pride. But once I actually went to, like, management, I took it off.
Good call.
Yeah.
So then we go to the recital. Nic Cage wants to go by Rachel and Lucas, and all that the kids are saying, there's like 12 kids up there, they're saying the national anthem. They're not singing or anything.
Say the national anthem, and then Lucas, of course, has a solo where he recites the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes.
No, they don't say they sing Amazing Grace.
Oh, was it?
Yes, it was Amazing Grace with
it was the national anthem. That doesn't matter. It was one of the two,
Grace.
and then he just steps down and says the Pledge of Allegiance. He just says the Pledge of Allegiance. They're not singing. They're not putting on a show. It was very weird. Basically, Nic Cage says, "Get in my car. The three of us got to go." So they go back to Rachel's house. They start packing their things. Adam catches up though, and
so Adam is on. Okay, so Adam is Nicolas Cage's friend, and
yeah, we've talked about Adam.
Is gay for Nicolas Cage. I'm sorry. I'm going to come out right out and say it. There's nothing wrong with that, but in this context of this movie, there's something really wrong with, like, his relationship with Nicolas Cage and why he's so obsessed with him. Like,
yes!
I think that my theory is that Adam is gay for Nicolas Cage and Porter is gay for Adam. Which, like, Porter is another agent. He's like a chubbier, like, underling.
He's Baby.
Yeah.
He's Baby from Deadfall. My note here for Adam says, why is Adam so interested in Nic Cage all of a sudden? He says it's because of a promotion, but has Nic Cage done anything wrong to warrant this attention?
And you know why Nicolas Cage is getting promoted? He says it's because he fired 3 shots and one of them went between this guy's eyes. And so that's why he's getting promoted.
The one hit the ceiling, the other one hit his leg. It was so weird. It was like a stoplight.
And one went between his eyes, and he's getting promoted. And then, like, Adam, just starts watching every single move that he makes. It's
regardless,
the weirdest thing.
Nick Cage holds Rachel, not Nick Cage, Adam holds Rachel hostage. It puts a gun up to her head. Nick Cage puts his guns down because Adam's like, put your guns down in your side piece. So what happens? Little Adam, this freaking kid,
Little
Lucas, shoots Adam in the eye with a BB gun.
You'll put your eye out. And he does.
With the BB gun.
With the BB gun. To which... Okay, so Adam is incapacitated because he's a really bad agent. He's really bad at his job.
Really bad.
And so then there's like a fight, and I have like, why is Nicolas Cage's fight choreography always so bad? He is not an action star. Okay, so, alright, they get away. That's it. Like,
yeah.
And then...
But how? That's my question here is how, because there were other people there...
Because his eye, man, or something. So
whatever.
So then they get away, but then later Porter, this other agent, comes on and he finds Adam, and Adam is using a piece of bread taped to his eye, which is soaked with blood. So he has a piece of like rye bread soaked with blood, like up to his eye, and somehow he knows where the key is to his handcuffs, like in the cookie jar.
Presumably, also,
scene.
Nick Cage put that bread on him. Someone, like, he didn't put that bread on himself. So presumably, they're like handcuffed him and was like, okay, let me help
him to
you
like
out.
A radiator, and then like he just reached around until he found the bread. But like then, like, why did they leave the handcuff key there? Like, is it because Nick was like, oh well, he's still my friend. Like, I want somebody to let him go eventually. What is happening?
So Nick Cage just starts driving with Rachel and Lucas, and his tank somehow gets punctured. No idea how. He loses gas, so they have to stop at a gas station place. And a great line here is that Rachel says, "What are we doing? I don't like this." And I was like, you know what, Rachel? That's exactly what I'm thinking right now too, because Adam is like coming, and basically Nick Cage like tells the gas station attendant, like, give us your gas, which apparently this guy has, like, spare gas, because you can only get gas...
It's not like a working gas station. Again, this is outside the city, so these people are all, like, cannibals. Scavengers.
Somehow, some reason, this gas station guy decides he likes Nick Cage, even though Nick Cage was just pointing a gun at him, was threatening to kill him.
Said, like, if he moves, shoot him to Lucas.
Yeah. But instead, all of a sudden, he's just like, gives Nick Cage, he's like, he gives Nick Cage all his gas, and then he actually helps Nick Cage escape by ramming one of the SUVs, because Adam's with two SUVs, it's a little convoy.
Yes.
But the back SUV is the one that got hit. Why doesn't Adam just keep going? Nick Cage is right there. Instead, he like stops, and all of a sudden, like, they're free again.
Yes, because Adam is secretly in love with Nicolas Cage. Not so secret to me. I get it. But he's in love with Nicolas Cage and wants to, like, keep playing this cat and mouse game. That's, like, his kink. That's his kink, man. That's, like, how he gets off, is, like, letting Nicolas Cage get a little bit ahead and then catching up. Then
a little bit ahead.
A little bit ahead.
A little bit ahead.
And catching up. I'm glad we can be mature about this.
This, hey, you're the one bringing it up. The next scene we don't really need to talk about, except for one minor detail. Adam is with his superiors, and there's a bunch of cardboard boxes, and basically we end up finding out... This is the part that I want to talk about.
I'm like, now it's like all of a sudden it's Mad Max? Like...
Yeah, but the guy, superior guy, grabs something from this dusty box and holds it up and goes, what is this?
Well, so first of all, he cuts open into like a bag of white powder. Now... Coming from Deadfall, I'm like, oh fuck, is he gonna start scooping this up into his mouth again like it's a bunch of cocaine? Like, are we back here? Haven't we learned a lesson in 30 years?
Instead, he holds up something, and he goes, do you know what this is? And the chick agent or whatever, who's also his superior, goes, I think that's a child's tooth. How the fudge does she know that's a child's tooth? Just by him holding up a little piece.
Maybe she was an expert in child's teeth.
What's the difference between a child's...
Maybe she was a tooth fairy. I don't know.
When they're cremated, what's the difference between a child's tooth and an adult tooth? A dog tooth. It could have been any tooth. How'd she know it was a tooth?
It looked like a tooth? I don't know.
Whatever, man. We cut back to...
If that's what you're going to get hung up on...
Oh, please. You've been getting hung up on a lot less than that.
Like the guy liner.
There's a lot to get hung up on this in the movie. But it cuts back to Nic Cage, and he passes on. I thought it was a shark tooth.
You know what I got
necklace.
hung up on? The fact that Adam's last name is Westinghouse. His name is Agent Adam Westinghouse. And I was like, isn't that the appliance brand? Like, that's like the brand of like washers and dryers and like fridges. Isn't it?
I don't think so.
Westinghouse?
That doesn't sound like anything.
All right, well, I'm going to type it in while you keep going.
It goes back to Nic Cage. He passes on what I thought was a shark tooth necklace. We later find out it was a rabbit foot. He gives that to Adam or to Lucas. I'm going to cross out Adam's name. He's driving me crazy here. He gives it to Lucas and says, like, you know, this is my gift to you, whatever.
Yes, Westinghouse is like an electric company, like generator, lighting, TVs. Yeah.
And then it cuts back to Adam with the guy in the elevator again. And he's like, I know you're Irving Ravelich, and I know that you work for the CIA or whatever, Department of National Defense. And it's like, who is this Irving guy? I guess he just explained it, but it's like, how are they all meeting this guy in the elevator? Basically, he lets Adam know that he told Nic Cage that the truth about New Eden, and then Adam shoots him in the head, and he is dead.
Oh, I didn't even know if Adam shot him. I don't think I cared enough.
Cuts back to Nic Cage.
Oh, I just saw that like he'd killed his whole family. He like said like, if you want to get like, home to your family or whatever. But then I just like looked up and was paying attention to the part where like his family was strangled on the floor.
Yeah, he killed them all.
So Adam's very good at doing everything that is not his actual job. Like Adam's very good. Like, Adam shouldn't be working for the Humanity Bureau. He should be working for, like, internal affairs for the Humanity Bureau. Because he's very good at paying attention to what Noah's doing and, like, tracking down and investigating, like, where he is and what's going on with him. But he's not actually doing anything related to the Humanity Bureau. And yet, he has all the other agents at his disposal. He has Agent Porter, like, as his little lapdog. Because anyway... There's a pool scene. Have we gotten to the pool scene yet, though?
No.
Because
that's right after this. Because now we cut back to Nic Cage.
Yeah,
and Nic Cage, now there's like snow and stuff going on. And at one point he says that they're going to Canada, which is, according to him, the land of 1,000 lakes.
Yes, I do have that. Canada, the land of 1,000 lakes. Is
that true?
No, but isn't Minnesota the land of 10,000 lakes?
10,000 lakes. So I am, like, maybe Canada only has 1,000 lakes now with the nuclear stuff. They say there's no lakes. By the way, there's snow.
So have they rebranded Canada?
Yeah, I guess. When the snow melts, wouldn't it form lakes? Like, they keep talking about how there's no lakes.
Yeah, but, you know, it's all poisoned, I guess. I don't know. Like, they also talked about, literally, like, he eats, like, he eats sardines at one point, and he eats something with fish. Oh, well, no, when they're fly fishing, he says, like, too bad there's no fish in the sea anymore. And it's like, seriously? In the entire ocean, there's no more fish? Do you know how much ocean there is, bro? There's so much ocean. You poisoned the entire ocean, then we should not be alive anymore. If you've managed to kill out every fish in the oceans, there's no reason that humanity should still be alive. Keep going.
Brock, I know. But also in this scene, so this is when they're with like another guy who's like telling them how to get to Canada. Adam goes by these two kids and he just freaking takes apart the Glock and is like showing these kids how a Glock works. Adam is 11 and has never held a gun in his life. How is he so smart with guns?
Adam just had asked before, like, what kind of a gun it was, and Nicolas Cage told him one time, and now he's an expert. But this movie has set up that, like, so one problem with a lot of movies is that, like, when characters are driving in cars, like, they don't talk about, like it'll like show them driving, and then like it'll get to the end of their trip or whatever, and then they'll be like, okay, so now what are we gonna do? And it's like, wait, you didn't talk about that the entire time you were driving, like, for those seemingly, like, 4 hours or so? Like, you didn't talk about what you were going to do until you got to the place? Like, this actually sets up that, like, Nicolas Cage and this kid are talking while they're, like, driving around. So maybe Nicolas Cage talked and told him all about guns.
All right, so you say it's a positive. Okay.
Yeah. Good for this. Because there's another line later at which point, like, where the kid, like, asks Nicolas Cage, like, tell me about fishing. And Nic Cage says, I've literally told you about fishing 100 times already. Like, shut up. I'm not telling you about fishing anymore. You tell me a story.
He hates Lucas when they're in that car, man.
Oh, yeah. Lucas?
I thought he was going to beat him up. Now is where it cuts back to Adam, who is swimming.
He is swimming in a pool, which I didn't know why it was so weird, but then I realized, oh yeah, there are no bodies of water. And, like, Agent Porter is watching him swim. So Adam is wearing a full-length, like, turtleneck bodysuit, and he's swimming. And then Agent Porter is, like, standing there watching him swim while he, like, delivers a monologue. And then he says something like,
do you want to come in? You should swim. He, like, splashes him.
It's a weird, gay, splashy swimming pool scene I have. Like, yeah, because he starts, like, splashing him and goes, come on, get in. Do it.
You're really,
like,
hung up on the gay.
There were so many homosexual undertones to this movie.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe we should say homosexual instead.
There are a lot of homosexual undertones in this movie. And Adam splashes Agent Porter, and Porter's, like, freaked out by water. So not only is, like, the water unclean, but, like, he got freaked out. And so, like, and then he says,
yeah, because he doesn't know how to swim.
The trick.
Why would he know how to swim?
Is to hold your breath before you go under. Which, I don't know if that's supposed to be, like, innuendo, or if that's supposed to be just, like, some sort of, like, double meaning at, like, I don't know what that means.
We also, in this scene, find out about a woman named Amanda Douglas, which he insinuates is Rachel's real name. Yeah. So Rachel is not actually Rachel. She's Amanda Douglas.
Who is assuming Rachel Weller's identity. And then there is a, honest to God, Eminem quote, because he says, will the real Rachel Weller please stand up?
Yes, he does.
So we have
and then it cuts back to Nick. Yeah, and that's a great way to cut to Nick.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening here with Nick, but I have a great line that he says to Rachel or Amanda. He says, when I was a boy, I couldn't wait for summer vacation.
Yes.
But it's like, there's no context for it.
I have her saying to Nick that Lucas is asleep, and she says, oh, when he twitches like that, it means he's dreaming. And it's like, no, that's what you say about a dog, not about your son, about a dog.
Yeah, and it's after that where she says that he says something about summer vacation.
Yeah.
And then somehow we find out, maybe she must have told him at this point. Nick Cage figures out that Lucas... Is this where he figures it out?
Here's we're gonna cut to the chase, guys. Okay, so then they, like, for some reason they're parked. So they get helped out by some German guy who tells them, yeah, like, here's a radiation detection thing. You got to go up to Canada, but everything's like radiation poisoning. And so they're hiding out, like, by a drone, and then they have a conversation in a car, at which point he says, I know you're not Rachel Weller because I know Rachel Weller. And she says, well, okay, yeah, I was her neighbor. So Lucas is your son, isn't he? And he says, yep, Lucas is my son because, like, I banged Rachel Weller, so you're not her. And
That's
she says,
right.
Okay, well, essentially you find out throughout the course of the movie that, like, Amanda was Rachel Weller's neighbor, and Rachel Weller was under some trouble when Lucas was, like, 2, so she was going to sell him off because apparently everybody's a cannibal and they were going to eat Lucas. And so Rachel and Amanda, who's the real woman, the real name of the woman in the movie, got in a fight, and then Amanda killed her and has been raising Lucas as her own. So there you go.
She says the reason she took him on as her own was because he was too beautiful.
He was too beautiful. There's another, there's really weird...
How about the fact that he's 2 years old?
Yeah, there are such weird tones, though. Because there's another part in this movie where, like, everybody's really trying to, like, heavy-handedly, like, push that she's beautiful. Because at the very front of the movie, like, I think Adam says, like, oh, pretty woman. And then, like, another agent says, like, oh, yeah, she's a very beautiful lady. I think Nic Cage says it at one point. And the little kid says, like, hey, do you like my mom? She's very pretty, isn't she? And it's like, guys, we get it. You want us to really think that this woman is beautiful.
So then they start driving off after they figure out whatever, that the drone was not a big deal or something. I don't remember.
Or the drone goes away, so then they keep going.
know.
They get to Canada. Guess what, guys?
No.
What?
You cannot cut to Canada yet, because first of all, they stop at this weird shop garage thing.
Okay, sorry. So they haven't gotten to Canada yet. Yes, and this is big.
And what's his name? Lucas? Oh man, I'm on a new page now. I gotta write it down. Lucas has to go to the bathroom. No, Brock, hold on, dude, stop, dude. No, Lucas has to go to the bathroom. Yeah, he has to go to the bathroom, and when he goes to the bathroom, hold on.
You think it's
first
a
of
number
all,
1 and he's got a magazine in his back pocket.
because no, Nic Cage says to Rachel at one point, you let him go to the bathroom on his own.
You let him go to the washroom. She goes in the washroom, which I was like, who? Did Canadians write this movie?
Which she says it was a number 2. That was her reasoning for letting him just wander through this huge ass warehouse, was because it was a number 2.
It was a number 2, and then she says he's not a little boy, and I was like, he was a little boy when you were giving him a bath earlier, like literally yesterday.
And then while he's shitting, a roll of TP rolls from under another stall, and in my head I was like, wait, does that mean like someone wants a blowy? Like, is that someone wants sex?
Some homosexual undertones. Like, where's the glory hole? What is happening in this movie? And but he brought reading material. He carries a comic book, and I was like, oh yeah, he's gotta go take a poo.
So Lucas just noticed this toilet paper come from under another stall. What does he do, guys? When he's done shitting, does he just get out and run?
I don't even
No, he
think
goes to wash his hands with the dirty water.
No, I don't think he shits. Or does he? Maybe. I don't know. He just gets.
They're not going to show the shit.
I don't know
but
if he
regardless, instead of leaving after knowing someone's there, he stands by the dirty water. He's like, "Oh no, I got to wash my hands."
And goes to wash his hands.
F that ass. Get out of there. Run to your parents. Obviously, something's going on.
Well, no. Okay, so he's in that thing. The toilet paper goes, and he says, "Hello? Is anybody there?" I said hello. And it was like, well, yeah, but that's not the code that you're supposed to use. That is not the code of the glory hole. Nobody says hello at a glory hole. Come on.
So Adam has a gang here.
You act like this is your first glory hole.
Yeah, you're 11 years old. Come on.
Yeah. So Adam is very upset that Lucas took his eye. And Adam, by the way, wears an eye patch. So he totally has a black eye patch, which is like a monocle, which is held in place not by a string, but just by sheer willpower, because it's the future, for this whole movie. And he's mad at Lucas for taking his eye with the beat.
Yeah, and so but he has Lucas by the shirt collars, lean him with a gun. And what happens? He shows Lucas his eye, and Lucas drops it down a gutter. So what does Adam do?
I'll go get it.
Adam just lets him go get it.
Yeah. And then, and Lucas says, I'll go get it. And then he says, oh, that little shit. And that's it.
That's it.
And lets him, get away.
He lets him crawl. He, actively is watching him. He's a foot away.
It is his kink. That is his whole deal, is letting him get a little bit ahead and then, catching up.
And I have to say, for Nic Cage's end, he walked into the bathroom when Adam was holding a gun up to Lucas, and Adam shoots one shot at him. So what is your natural reaction?
Horribly.
What is your reaction if a gunshot just hits right over your shoulder?
Duck?
You're going to probably be terrified, right?
I'm going to duck.
What does Nic Cage do? Nic Cage, blinks, and then just walks out. Turns around and just leaves.
Jukes left and then goes right.
And he does not try to save...
Out of the way. And then, runs, sees a bunch of more agents show up, and they all start shooting at him, which it's epically, Star Wars bad level of shots, where, he's just running, straight, and, they're just shooting all around him, and the sparks are going all, over his head, and,
They have automatic guns, and in my notes here, I'm sorry, I gotta share this. There's 3 agents shooting at him with automatic guns. It's a wide open space, and they can't hit him.
But
I went to a bachelor.
Rachel comes with her gun and takes all of them out, even though it's been proven that she can't. We've seen her try to shoot a gun before, and she shoots all over the ceiling. But now her aim is perfect.
Brock, I went to a bachelor party where they made all of us line up in a line and have the bachelor run through with his shirt off or whatever, and we all just got to shoot him. Do you know how hard that was? It was not hard at all.
I want to specify with a paintball gun or something.
Did I not say paintball guns?
No.
It was with paintball guns.
Yeah,
No, we're not shooting him with a Glock.
Well, I'm just
But
saying.
also, that a paintball gun is not fully automatic. These are fully automatic weapons. It's not that hard to shoot a moving target.
I know. Hey, I get it. It's okay.
Okay. All right, now we can go. Like, they all somehow get back in the car. They're heading to Canada.
I got to learn the Romanian word for run.
Yeah.
It's fugiti. So, if you ever want to learn the Romanian word for run, it is fugiti or fugi.
They're in the car. They're heading to Canada. They're supposed to use their nuclear thing because there is a nuclear plant there that exploded. You can't be over 6 million gigawatts or whatever. They never reach over 2 million, and then they figure out that there's not really nuclear damage, that they just told them there was so that they would all stay in America.
Yeah. Fear is better than a wall or something like that.
There's a great part here too, though, because the detector wasn't working, and so Rachel opens the battery and asks for a lantern to take another battery out, and Nic Cage goes, smart.
And then she literally just takes the battery and drops it into the open thing, and then puts the lid back on, and then it works. There's
Nic Cage
no
is just,
hooking
smart.
up a wire or no hooking putting the battery in place. She literally just drops it in a hole and then puts the lid on, and that makes it work. It's
Also
frustrating.
at this scene, Brock.
It's frustrating.
Someone earlier
can't get this far into details, man.
Brock, hold on. This is a great part. Because earlier someone had told them that they need to take iodine pills to help with the radiation.
Okay.
And what does Nic Cage do? He raw
fucking
dogs it.
Raw dogs a pill.
He raw dogged
This
it.
is the fourth movie in which he raw dogs a pill. We've watched 4 Nicolas Cage movies. He's raw dogged a pill in every single movie.
Has he?
I think maybe Left Behind. He's probably raw dogged a pill in Left Behind, dude.
He freaking raw dogged the iodine pill. Because she asks him, do you want water? And he's just no.
And
he just
and
does
he
it.
says, do you know who the fuck I am? I'm Nicolas goddamn Cage, and I do not take water with my pills.
Okay, so now they get to Canada. Adam finally catches up.
There are some tropes that we have to start following with Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage wears aviator sunglasses, or sunglasses at all. Nicolas Cage raw dogs pills. Nicolas Cage mumbles. But, there are tropes, and I think raw dog and pills really, is gonna follow him throughout all of his movies.
We know at least 2 out of the last 4 movies he's raw dog pills. It would
3.
be interesting to...
It's been 3. He did it in Deadfall.
We're in Wicker Man.
He raw dog pills in Wicker Man. All
Where?
of the pills that he had to take in order to stop him as hallucination pills.
Yes, so we're at least 3 out of 4.
Yes.
And I bet he took some no sleep pills or something for that transatlantic flight.
He's a pilot, so and he's probably taking boner pills for Hattie.
Dude, we gotta keep track of this. At least 3 out of 4. I might have to rewatch Left Behind just to see.
Oh god, don't put yourself through that. Okay, we gotta go. Crunch time. All right, they get to Canada.
Adam catches up.
Everybody dies.
Yeah, they shoot Rachel
sorry.
square in the head.
Spoiler alert. They literally
shoot Nic Cage square in the head?
Everybody in the head, and they die.
Except Lucas.
Except Lucas, who again somehow gets a pass and gets to run away.
Because Adam puts him at gunpoint or whatever, and Nic Cage is let the kid go at least. So the guy Adam says, okay, I'll let him go. So what does Nic Cage do? He goes, go! Get out of here! Go!
Well, according to the subtitles, he yells, Fugiti! Again, which means run.
But then
run.
Lucas just walks up to him and hands him something, and then he's just get out of here! Run! It just full Nic Cage volume. It's great. And then Nic Cage, he gets shot in the head. And then Adam's asking for a memory card. When was a memory card even brought up?
What? The memory card is what had Eden on it. That's what he got from the guy in the elevator.
That's the memory card that he wanted?
Yes, Ponytail in the elevator gave him a memory card with the truth on it, and that's what they wave in front of their new futuristic smartphones in order to tell them the truth and give them the plans for New Eden. And then, so he gives him a memory card. Adam shoots Rachel. Adam shoots Nic Cage in the head, so they are dead. Adam should be getting the promotion. He shoots everybody between the eyes when he wants to.
That's true. But anyway, we've someone else, some random person. I don't know how Nic Cage got a hold of all these people, but someone else,
Native American
shoots at him
from Canada.
The only one they leave is Porter or whatever his name was.
Because Porter, in a tragic turn of events, like just puts his hands up and runs away, and they're like, okay, cool.
We end up finding, guys, the real memory card or whatever is in the rabbit foot. So it's all good because
I don't even know if we talked about the rabbit foot. Did we?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Lucas had it around his neck, and they're all good.
Nic Cage
And basically, it starts a revolution. And then the film ends with this line. Again, I said it earlier. When I was a boy, I couldn't wait for summer vacation.
When I was a boy, I couldn't wait for summer vacation.
Because somehow that matters for this whole movie.
Yeah.
And the movie's done.
There's a fly fishing scene. I honestly thought that I was looking at Chekhov's fly fishing rod and that he was going to somehow save the day with the fly fishing rod. Because it was all about how he was a fly fishing champion. But it did have a flashback scene, and I want to just say, that was not fly fishing. That was just fishing. You don't have to say fly fishing. Fly fishing is a whole different thing.
We are, as you pointed out earlier, we're 4 movies in. He has died in 3 of them.
Yeah, I do want to say that. That's another thing. Okay, so let's start running down our tropes. Nicolas Cage wears sunglasses. Nicolas Cage raw dogs pills, and Nicolas Cage dies. I think those are the 3 trends that we can start tracing.
There's also a lot of flashbacks in his movies too.
Yeah. He doesn't die. Left Behind is really the one that doesn't fit into this trope, but
also, our next movie is called Arsenal, and it features Nic Cage's character from Deadfall.
Yes.
So, did he actually die in Deadfall?
Well, okay, so here's what I know about Arsenal. Arsenal is a prequel sequel.
Oh, it's a prequel.
Arsenal.
I was gonna say, does he have a fried face the whole time?
So Arsenal is a prequel to Deadfall, starring Nicolas Cage as his character Eddie King, but technically 25 years in the future. But you know what? It doesn't matter
because he's 25 years
Eddie
older.
King, baby.
He's 20 years older now.
Yeah. Well, but technically in the movie he's gonna be younger, I think.
See, well, Arsenal just came out this year too, so I told you going into this one, I was like, why don't we just combine the Humanity Bureau and Arsenal? But then I started reading about Arsenal, and I was like, dude, actually, that's going to be an ep. That's going to be a full ep.
That's going to be a full ep. All I want to say is that there's one thing in this movie, and it's that because the water was so poisoned, there were multiple lines referring to people drinking their own piss. And it was such a big thing. Well, so when I was checking to see if this movie was actually in English or in Russian, I jumped to the 8:05 mark, just at the YouTube clip, and the line that I got Nicolas Cage saying was, "I've seen children drink their own piss," and I was like, "Oh boy, this is the movie that I get to watch." So, that's there was that guy drinking his own piss, and then later, it says, well, I bet that guy drinks his own piss. And then there was another one where it was oh, go drink your own piss. And it's why? Why does everybody need to drink their own piss?
Brock, was Nic Cage a good actor?
Nicolas Cage in this particular film was not a good actor.
Okay, again, I feel like I'm going to rework the intro because this is the same problem that we had with Wicker Man, where it's could someone else have made this movie good? And I argue that, again, no, they couldn't. It was just a bad script. I don't think Nic Cage deterred the movie at all, but
I don't think he made the movie.
But
here's the thing: Nicolas Cage is the only actor that you're gonna actually know or have heard of in this movie, and I think there's a reason that you have not heard of any of these other actors because they're bad, especially Adam. Adam was awful.
Oh yeah, he was over the top. He was again from Austin Powers. He was almost like Dr. Evil or something.
Yeah, or more like number 2.
Why did Nic Cage do this movie? What the heck did he gain from this?
some sweet Canadian dollars. I don't know. And this movie's like message. I don't know whether it was like technically it's like against global warming. I think, but like and against the government. Like it's a weird. I think it's like Canadian. I don't know for sure why it was released in Sweden and then wherever, and then like Canada before coming to the States is another kind of weird thing.
They bring up global warming, but they said that the problems arose from a nuclear war, so that didn't make sense.
But they showed Trump. Like, they showed Trump, like, because the guy that he assassinates in or kills in the first, like, scene is a former Colorado governor, and I don't know if Colorado was, like, a coincidence or not, but the guy was like, I'm an American citizen. I died at the White House, and there's a picture of him with President Trump. Like, so, I mean, this movie was made, within the last year. That's weird. It's just a weird movie. And yes, why did Nicolas Cage make it? I don't know.
I'm not used to seeing Donald Trump like as our president.
Yeah.
It still doesn't feel right.
In fiction? Yeah.
In anything. It's just whenever I see Donald Trump like doing White Housey things, I'm just like, well, yeah, that's right. That's our guy.
All right, we don't have time for that.
Okay, I agree. Bad movie, bad actor. We are now both 0 for 4. Next, I am so flippin' excited to get back to Eddie King.
Let's get some Eddie King in. Tell me it's his fucking money.
All right, you want to sign us off?
Guys, no matter what this movie tries to do, don't lose your faith in humanity. Bureau. We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
I've seen children drink their own piss.
Hey guys, it's Brian. I just wanted to hop on here because as we're still getting our feet wet here with this podcast, we're still forgetting a few things. We did a good job remembering last episode, but again, we want to ask you, please, please, please review us. Follow us on Instagram, on Twitter. We're at WeGageCagePod. But the ratings, that's really what's going to help us get recognized. I promise we'll stop asking for them after a while, but right now, to help us grow, that's what we need from you guys. We hope you enjoy it, and hey, please be honest with your comments and let us know how we're doing. Thanks, guys.